Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents WWE Clash at the Castle Predict the Outcome special. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show special edition. We talk about here on Predict the Outcome Clash of the Castle. As you see right here, these are the matches that you're going to see at Clash of the Castle. You're going to see Roman Reigns. That's the main event. Roman Reigns defends his WWE Undisputed Unified Championship against Drew McIntyre, the number one contender. And two, we'll talk about a lot of stuff. All these matches we'll talk about here on Predict the Outcome. And two, is a WWE return looming as Braun Strowman could be returning back to WWE in a big way, and he could be coming. Could be coming up sooner than you think. We'll talk about that coming up next here, and more stuff as well. So let's get started with predict the outcome for WWE Clash at the Castle. Clash at the Castle comes your way from Cardiff, Wales, live on WWE Network and on Peacock in the US. If you're living in the US, you're gonna see it. But it's a lot going on, as you can tell right here. So much stuff going on tonight. So we're gonna follow up with SmackDown and give you caught up on what's going on Raw and stuff. So let's get started. Let's get started. All right, we're gonna get started with this. We know that the women's match, the 6 woman tag team match right here, as you see Asuka, you see Alexa Bliss, women's champion from Raw, Bianca Belair. They team up against the returning Bayley and her team of Io Sky and Dakota Kai. This all started back at SummerSlam, as you recall, when Bianca Belair defended her women's championship against Becky Lynch. Well, it's been an interesting caveat this past week on Raw, as you can tell right here. Um, Asuka, Becky, Bianca, and Alexa tried to get involved and tried to make things fair at the WWE Crown new women's tag team champions. The new women's tag team champions were Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, who won the match. They won the match for their respective team. And big love and congratulations to both Raquel Gonzalez the impossible. I thought Dakota Kai and Io Sky had it, but no. Raquel Gonzalez and Aaliyah are now the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. They did it by beating the experiencing technical difficulties, but you can see right here, Dakota Kai and um, Raquel Gonzalez and Aaliyah are now the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Done so, but we get back to business. How will Asuka, Bianca, and Alexa combat what's going on with Bayley and put a stop to Bayley's team? Well, that's the kicker. But like I said here, I can see who's gonna emerge victorious. I see Bailey, Euro Sky, and Dakota Kai winning the match. And they probably get back in Euro Sky and Dakota Kai want to get back in tag team contention. And Baylor might want to go after the women's championship. So we'll see that how they're all gonna play out. But look for that. Look for Baylor, Euro Sky, and Dakota Kai to win that match. Speaking of that, speaking of women's matches, right here. This is a match right here that everyone's been talking about. Um, Shayna Baszler going against um Liv Morgan. Now we know earlier tonight on SmackDown they had a confrontation. Liv Morgan being confronted by Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler said she's gonna break every arm bits out of Liv Morgan. She's gonna do so at Clash at the Castle tomorrow night. And like I said, Shayna Baszler may have an opportunity, and she may not if she don't waste her chances. The chances could be wasted, and wasted indeed. But this match right here is all about Shayna Baszler trying to get the women's championship and not be too overconfident. Now we know her buddy Ronda Rousey had her issues earlier. Ronda had made a play at Adam Pearce about her suspension, and Ronda made sure Adam Pearce paid for it. Adam Pearce called her, you know what, a B word, and she didn't like one bit. So I think Ronda Rousey is going to be investing herself in into the women's championship picture. Whether it's either Shayna or Liv. A lot of people saying Charlotte Flair may return. So it's a lot going on. But it for Liv Morgan to retain her women's championship. Who knows? Ronda might chase her forward down the road. But Shayna Baszler ain't gonna be near part in that match. Might get a heavy payday, but that might be it for Shayna and stuff. But look for that. Also, too. Also, like I said, um, this is some photos right here of what the Clash of the Castle may look like. They said they're building a big castle around the arena and stuff, so it could be popular. Even Triple H making a return, landed foot on the set on Cardiff. So there's a lot going on, even for the game. So the game making his appearance known. I'll tell you later on what's going on. They had a weaker segment and stuff. So we're gonna end that with that first half of well, we could do we're gonna end that right now with the first half predicted outcome. We're gonna move forward, and we'll get to the second half later on in the show. If you stay tuned to wrestling hot topics. All right, on wrestling hot topics. There's been reports that Braun Strowman could be returning back to WWE. Yes, the Monster Among Man, Braun Strowman, could be making his way to WWE. Could be making his way to WWE in a big way. Braun has been on high ground as of late, and Braun Strowman making it seem and making it feel like that he's coming. So I could see Braun Strowman making a return. And his girlfriend is a tag team champion. Man, you may be aware that he's dating Raquel Gonzalez, so that even make it possible. But look for Braun Strowman. They say he might be coming up on Raw this Monday. So look for the return of Braun Strowman on Raw this Monday. And some of these wrestling sites know what they be talking about, but we'll see. Also, too, WWE made an interesting quote on Twitter when Twitter was setting up about describe one thing about your Twitter account, and WWE said wrestling, and everybody went crazy and bananas, and WWE showing the world that they are a wrestling company, and they're not going by with the Vince McMahon era, and so WWE coming back with wrestling indeed. We'll see that. Good for WWE. Also, too, Mickey James made appearance on Impact, saying that she's gonna do the Ric Flair thing, like she had to keep winning her matches. If she keeps losing, she'll retire. and said it might be leaving her to the ultimate goal of winning the Knockouts title. So we don't have an unclear when a timetable when Mickey James may want to retire, but that's been in the works for quite some time. Speaking of that, Triple H had sat down with Aaron Hwani on his channel on BT Sports YouTube channel and revealed everything. He said the rumors were true that him and Brock Lesnar, and Brock found out that Mr. McMahon retired. Triple H had to talk Brock back into coming back to finish the program. So Triple H was asked about Sasha Banks. He was asked about everything, him running WWE, how Vince, how difference between him and Vince. So there's a lot going on between Triple H and his father-in-law, who used to be head creative, and now Triple H is now running creative. We'll talk about that. Oh, he brought back a lot of folks. He brought back Karrion Kross. Who would never thought Karrion Kross and Scarlett returned, but they did. They did earlier tonight, and they left an impact on Drew Galloway earlier. So we saw that. Also, too, we can tell you right there that Bianca Belair and Sheamus and a couple of others WWE superstars, including Liv Morgan, they all are in Cargo getting ready for Clash at the Castle. So they're preparing themselves for Clash at the Castle and how that's going to be coming forward and stuff. Also, too, this week in history, Triple H, if you recall 20 years ago to this day, on September 2nd, 2022, have you ever imagined 20 years later Triple H be running creative? Triple H was awarded the World Heavyweight Championship by Eric Bischoff after it was a vacancy in the championship when Brock Lesnar decided he wanted to wrestle on SmackDown that led a void on Raw. And Eric Bischoff, at that time, the then general manager, awarded Triple H the World Heavyweight Championship. So Triple H, what's going on with him? Also, too, Miro. A lot of they say the talent want to go. Some of them want to go back to Triple H, but only time will tell on that. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. So what's going on with Miro? And two, Impact Wrestling star Joe Dory has to step away from competition after he has been diagnosed with brain cancer. We wish Joe Dory the best and get good health and hopefully he can fight this and be back in the ring in no time. Also, too, Roman Reigns celebrates his 730th day as Universal Champion. Roman Reigns celebrating accomplishment or milestone, holding the Universal Championship for 730 days, the longest reigning, and he had 23 defenses. So Roman Reigns setting the standard of win the Universal, regardless if he lose or not wins. He's still a champion at heart, and no question about that about what's going on with Roman Reigns. Done the impossible. So congratulations to Roman Reigns on 2-year mark. Also, too, you can see right here, the stage of the Clash at the Castle being set. We also found out that Tyson Fury will be in attendance at Clash at the Castle. So Tyson Fury, don't know what he's going to stand with, but we'll see how all this is going to play out. But we just have to wait and see on that and how that's going to come about. All right, that's going to end your hot topics. Let's move forward. Let's quickly move forward back to the predicted outcome, the second half of predicted outcome with Clash at the Castle. All right, this is another match that everyone wants to see. Everyone never thought we're going to see Seth Rollins, and Matt Riddle. These two men want to beat the crap out of each other. Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle, and they get to do so at Clash of the Castle. This match was supposed to happen at SummerSlam, but things got personal real quick on Monday on Raw when Seth Rollins talked about Matt Riddle's wife and having a divorce. Matt Riddle said the same thing about him, about Becky is in charge of him. It's a lot going on. These two men want to kill each other, and they're gonna do this. with this, but we're gonna try to end this real quick. Rollins, what's going on with him? Look for Seth Rollins to win his match over Matt Riddle. +2, Sheamus going against Gunther. That's gonna be the match of the night to me. So I look for Sheamus to win, and that's the title that's losing him the Intercontinental title to get the win over Gunther and become the new Intercontinental champion. Look for that. Also, to look for the Judgment Day to win over Edge and Rey Mysterio, the two legends that had that biography series on A&E. Look for Dominic to cost Ray, his father, the title, the matchup with the help of Rhea Ripley. So look for that. And two, finally, this match right here is the match that everyone wants to see. Drew McIntyre has been pushed with commercially. Him against Roman. It was a weak build at the end, but they highlight Roman winning the title 2 years ago at Payback, and Roman now full circle 2 years later, winning, becoming the longest reigning champion with Hulk Hogan, Pedro Morales, Bob Backlund, and Bruno Sammartino. So it was a weak build at the end. They were supposed to do a celebration. Drew McIntyre interrupted the celebration, caused the Usos and went down and beat up the Usos and Sami Zayn. You know how that go. But look for Drew to finally win the WWE Universal Championship and crown himself the champion. It was a weak bill. Roman should have went out there and got the recognition that he richly deserved for being champion for 2 years. Drew went and attacked all the bloodline and left him out laying. So Drew will get his moment, and Drew will be the new WWE champion, and he'll be heading off feuding with Karrion Kross down the road. So we'll see that. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents Predict the Outcome for WWE Clash of the Castle. We hope to see you at Clash of the Castle coming up soon. For me, being Kendrick saying so long, we'll see you for the other Pro Wrestling Show Predict the Outcomes for NXT Worlds Collide and AEW's All Out. So for me, being Kendrick saying so long, and we'll see you at Clash at the Castle.